full potential today? Your maximum potential? That's good, man. You need to Man, this fucking, for some reason, this truck is hot all the time. I think it's hot in this goddamn thing. Really. I don't know why it's like that. I catch myself when you're on the, doing a live. They can't hear that. I'm just gonna turn on the air conditioning. Fuck it. On low. Fuck it. Lower than that. Yeah, man. Breaker 19, man. Breaker 19. Be drinking fine wine in less than 2 hours. Yeah, I'm gonna be partying like a motherfucker. Trebles. Yeah, I had 2 phone calls. I had to get him to him. Trying. Long story short, about 30 years ago, I knew this guy that was a pilot, and he was working his way up. What that means is flying for free, flying around junk, wanting to be an airline pilot. So he got diagnosed with dermatomyositis, which is an autoimmune disease that affects your muscles. And he was really upset. He thought this was going to be the end of his flying days. And he was in the hospital a couple times for quite a while, and this was when he was young. Well, I think he just put in his 30th year as a pilot for Delta. He's a captain now. And I saw him at a Christmas party a couple years ago, this December, and I asked him about it, and he said, yeah, I'll probably die early, but it doesn't affect my medical. They have to have a first-class medical. And I thought, well, good for him, man. The fucker was able to live a long life. So the other day, Marty came home, and he said one of his best friends was really upset. He was hospitalized. And this guy's a go-getter, religious nut, goes to the gym 3 times a week, doesn't eat meat, all that bullshit. Of course, you knew he was going to get something. And sure enough, he got hospitalized and diagnosed with, guess what? Dermatomyositis. So Marty came home. He said, hey, my buddy's got this thing that eats his muscles. And I said, well, find out what it is. And he rattled off a couple names. And I said, see if it's dermatomyositis. And he said, okay. So he texted me today. This guy's really worried. He thinks his life's over. She's just dropped the ball on this one. And I said, well, hey, I know this guy that's, fucking airline captain. He's had it for fucking ever. And, they've had a couple kids. He's happily married. He's still a captain at Delta. Why don't you, how about if I get a hold of him and I can put him in touch with your buddy and, he can, I'd want to talk to somebody that had this shit for 30 years that was still doing well. So that's what the phone calls were about. I mean, if it's just a bullshit phone call, I'm in the middle of a chat, I don't just sign off for the fuck of it and leave everybody waiting. And that's what those phone calls were about, is getting that guy's number and putting him in touch with Marty's friend. Yeah, dermatomyositis. The other guy, another guy, I knew all these fucking guys, man. They were younger than me, and they were flight instructors where I used to keep my airplanes, get them worked on. So I knew all these fuckers, and they were flight instructors. They're all like airline captains. Well, anyway, 2 years ago, this December, like the first week in December, there was a guy named Tiny. I used to buy him lunch and shit all the time. He's a fat guy. He's a nice guy. He came from like upper middle class, and that was cool. I didn't hang out with him too much, but we crossed paths a lot. One time I didn't have an instrument rating, and a flight attendant I knew got trapped over in Milwaukee. She was going to have to be there the whole weekend because she couldn't get a jump seat ride back to Detroit. So her dad called me and said, "Well, do you think you could take your airplane and fly over to Milwaukee and pick up Carolyn? Really appreciate it." It's like, fuck yeah, no problem. Carolyn had a perfect body. So did her sister. 400-pounder, I'd have never done it. I just said the weather was too bad. Well, I didn't have an instrument rating, and the weather was shitty, and you have to cross Lake Michigan. So I called up Tiny and said, hey, I got this fucking good-looking girl flight attendant needs a ride back. Would you fly over there with me so I don't fucking kill all of us? He said, sure, yeah, no fucking problem. So we flew over to Milwaukee, picked her up. Her mom and dad came too. Picked her up. It was raining like a motherfucker, man. I remember that. And anyway, I kept in touch with him, blah, blah, blah. He was always fucking with me about marrying up and having a good looking wife that I didn't deserve, which is probably true. And I saw him at a Delta airline pilot's retirement party about 5 years ago. Ann Arbor, came down, bucked around. He was doing all right, same old shit, talked about the old days, blah, blah, blah. And 2 years ago, this first week in December, he was out raking leaves, 53 years old. Came inside, said he didn't feel good. Wife woke up about 2 in the morning, reached over, he was cold, dead. Died in his sleep. So you never know. Yeah, it's too bad. I felt bad. I felt bad for his wife, too. Wife was fat, too. Huge. A couple huge kids. I mean, they were so fat. They were at this retirement party, and I normally I'd fuck with them about being fat, but I'd never do it under those circumstances. I mean, I was dying to say, you guys don't own a little airplane, do you? I was gonna get around to like how the fucking thing get off the ground, that kind of shit. We were drinking and that kind of stuff, but I didn't. Even drunk, I learned to keep my mouth shut. And then there was a black guy, half black, but he looked all black. But you'd think he was white if you shut your eyes. Good guy, liked him. Like, I'd run into him, good. He's an airline pilot captain too. Always got along good, laugh like motherfuckers. Well, at that same Christmas party 2 years ago, he didn't seem too friendly to me, which I don't really give a fuck about. But it seemed odd compared to the prior 30 years. I mean, we didn't really keep in touch. I thought maybe one of my dirty jokes filtered down or something like that. So I called another airline captain guy. I said, hey, I was trying to get this fucker's number. That was the second call. And his wife's cool. He's got on his fifth wife. They've been married 17 years. He's a really nice person. It worked out for him finally. He's the guy who the party was for 5 years ago. So I called him up and I said, I'm trying to get this guy's phone number because I know this dermatomyositis shit. He said, I don't have it. He said, we're not really close like that. Even though, he worked at Delta for 25 years at the time up until I retired. It's like, okay. And he said, why don't you call so-and-so? I said, well, that fucker was a little weird last time. I saw him at the Christmas party. And he wasn't exactly friendly. I don't even know if I could find his number, and even if I had it, I don't think I'd call. He said, well, you're a little hard to take sometimes. It's like, that ain't got fucking nothing to do with it. He said, well, maybe you read it wrong. I said, well, maybe I did, but I don't think so. Well, at that same party, his wife's cool, great sense of humor. We're sitting there and we're drinking, we're eating fucking chicken wings and shit. And she knows me. I mean, there's no airs around her. And I made a comment about big-clitted, long-tongued, hairy-legged Ann Arbor lesbians. And she didn't flinch. And I thought, oh, fuck it. So I said it again. She said, I heard you the first time. Well, that lends some credence to that I'm misreading a situation, but I'm saying, note to self, when you're around me, if I'm talking some shit like that, either cringe, give me a dirty look, flip me off, say that's uncalled for, something. Or I'm going to say it again just in case you didn't hear it. It looks like I'm running into some rain up here. Wash these fucking bugs off. But I called the guy back and said, you said I might have misread it. Maybe I did. And I told him I reminded him of what I said around his wife. Motherfucker. Yeah, that's what they say. I want a reaction. Yeah, fucking do not. I guess I did want a reaction. It's like, oh, what does that have to do with it? Or, some shit like that. But that goes to show I try not to be blind, like, to my own indiscretions and the way I perceive things. Maybe I did misread it. I misread her. I looked over there. I thought she didn't hear me for sure, and she did. And coming from that fucker too. Just like Hemingway said, in the midst of an argument, there's nothing worse than a good example. Which he gave to me, and I denied. And then I got thinking about that, and I had to call and say, hey, you might be onto something. Wonder how many other times I did this. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. Well, that's what they say about mental illness. Bearers of the truth. Fuck yeah. Eyes without a face. I just filled up with DEF and diesel fuel at the same place. $130. And I had 100 miles to go, which is like, fuck, 8 gallons. This thing fucking sucks fuel. Yeah, that's what I say. It's a fine line. Man, I used to fuck around this area down here. I had a bunch of girlfriends down here over about a two-year period. It was so great. Monroe Community College. It's like a rural place, and these women I met in these classes just lived all over the place around down here. Like these rural farming communities. You know, and that was like the meeting point for like a huge farming county. And you were just right down the road from Toledo, Ohio. Fuck, I wish my days were like that now. God damn, man. I can remember going to Halloween parties, like outside. So fucking awesome. God damn. Motherfucker. Man, if times change, getting old sucks. That's another example. DEF. Yeah, it's about $150 to fill this fucking thing up with DEF. But you don't have to do it every tank. DEF's that stuff you put in a diesel so it doesn't smoke. Prime. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't have that long to go. Got the pedal of the metal. I had a girlfriend down here too. I took her to go see porno movies. I had to drive all the way from my house, 40 miles, drive 60 to the porno movie, drive her back again, then drive home. And I was like, I can tell you, it was worth every mile. I just looked her up on the internet the other day. Actually, she looks pretty good for her age. Yeah, for her age, that's a problem. Halloween every night in a teddy. Yeah, Dundee, yeah. I busted a guy down here one time doing an investigation for arson. Not the arson itself, but a motive for doing it. Really fucked him good. Man, I'm glad I got my diesel in Ohio. $4.43 here. Fuck you. Man, I had some weird dreams last night in that hotel. Had a bourbon. Never had bourbon before. You can keep it. I think it sucks. I said, how do people mainly get this stuff? She said, well, they mix it with like Coke or Diet Coke. It's like, nah, I don't think so. I said, just give it to me on the rocks. That is alright. I don't really like the taste of it that much. I'm gonna be drinking some good wine tonight, though. I'll tell you that. Oh shit. They just built a Myers. I'm gonna go in there and buy a couple bottled wines. You know, you talk about the little things in dating and social interactions, and you know, you got your radar on. And my radar is always on. If somebody's ignorant or never brings anything or never asks, it just really fucking turns me the fuck off on them. Now this guy's a big wine connoisseur. He's a doctor. He makes good money. There's family money, all that bullshit. That's got nothing to do with it. So I'm gonna make sure that I bring 2 good bottles of my own wine, not cheap shit. Come on, motherfucker, hit the gas, stupid bitch, and get a couple good. I'm talking like $70 a bottle, something like that. We'll party tonight. I'll bet you money I sleep over there. I don't really want to fuck with that house of mine. I don't know if everything's on. I got it paid up to date. You know, I'm pretty lax on paying all that shit, water bill and all that stuff. I don't give a fuck, that's why. But I got it all paid up, no balance, but that doesn't mean it's on, I don't think. The thing that's got me a little worried, not a lot, I'm not that worried, because I'll get it on Monday if it's not. But usually when I pay this stuff, I get a confirmation on my email, and I didn't. So I don't know if you can pay it up and there's some turn it on fee or some shit. Hey, Chris. So I'd rather not fuck with it tonight. I'd rather drink good wine. Fuck yeah. Fucking A. The place I'm going tonight, they invited Mary over. That's too long of a drive. Oh, sweet Mary. She offered to come and help me move. Isn't that sweet of her? I got it covered though. I pay people, man. I'm not lifting any. I don't really have that heavy of shit, but I pay people. Fuck it. I mean, I think I can do it, but you know, everybody thinks they can do it until they fuck something up major. They limp the rest of their life till it's tits up. Look at those guys. Got a steamroller out on a Saturday. But here's another construction project's taking forever. That's that Mike Morris. He got sued or some bullshit happened to him. Sexual harassment, that lawyer, ambulance chaser. And the insurance company sued him too for fucking doing something wrong. All the books are getting transported down to Georgia. Yep. I bought more while I was there. Shelving's costing about 12 grand for those books. I'm gonna have them all like perfect. I'm gonna have one of those ladder, 12-foot ceilings. So I'm gonna have one of those little like ladders, like when you go in places, you can like get up to the high shelf. I'm gonna have a young assistant with a tennis skirt on. Get the books down from the top shelf like an old pervert. Yeah, I hate spending that money for shit like that, but there's no way around it. I've tried every version of shelf, and you know, much as I like wood shelves, they fuck you down the road. If anybody knows of some good metal shelves, I mean nice looking, not that cheap ass shit, let me know. That was the estimate for metal or wood. Oh, look at this fucking bullshit. Come on, you motherfuckers. I could have went left too. There was a fork in the road, and I took the right one. Now it merges you back together. You fuckers. Son of a bitch. Just hope I don't get killed by a sleepy truck driver. Come on, motherfuckers. How you doing? Oh, that's cool. I've had them good ones and I've had mediocre ones. I had some cheap ones in my basement, but I don't like keeping. I'm not keeping any more anything in a basement. Even if you dehumidify it, fucks it up. Come on, fuckers. Of course, they're working on this side. God damn it. You know, I'm building a complete new library too, besides this freestanding building. Just books. Freestanding building, another building. But I don't want to have to go over there every time when I got some. I just have so many books. And I'll buy collections and then library one, like good ass shit. Rather than like Barnes and Noble, you know, science books. I'm gonna put Twister in there. Now that I'm getting these polished concrete floors, which will be done Sunday, we're gonna play Twister on the Chosen One annual Christmas party. Twister. Yeah, freestanding building. Yep, I'm gonna do it. I already got it designed. Bathroom, you know, in it. Little shower. Just pure library. All Georgia stuff too. Yeah, just for books. Yep. But like good books, you know, really like nice ones. Well, it's nice to see these guys were out working on a Saturday, paving this road. But they were doing this. I can't believe it's still at this stage. That guy had to wear a mask. Shouldn't be breathing in all that dirt. Look at this guy dumping this shit they're laying down. Man, you couldn't pay me $1 million a year to do this kind of work. See, you just look down the road and you think, I'll be dead by the time this is done. Yeah, it wasn't so bad. Football traffic, god damn it. I never thought of that. Man, if there's an Ann Arbor football game will somebody look up, see if Ann Arbor played home? Pray to God they didn't. This, depending on what time they started, I could be prime for fucking football traffic. God, please, no. I'm turning Christian. Naked Twister. Fuck yeah. I see they busted some guy in Connecticut for having 21 years old, $8.5 million worth of mushrooms. Bet your money he pissed off some fucking girl he was dating. Or he didn't give somebody $1 an hour raise or some shit. That's major trouble. You know, it's considered a class 1 hallucinogen. Same as heroin. You think, oh, mushrooms, I won't get in too much trouble for this. Yeah. Yes, you will. $250,000 cash surety bond. He'll probably be getting anal banged in less than a year. You think, well, it's natural. Yeah, so's heroin. Felony, convicted felon. Be working at the local pizza parlor, washing dishes till he's 70. And look at all this construction equipment. My God. Yeah, remind me not to go there. Well, it's south looks better. Looks like they got south done, maybe. Remind me not to go this way northbound. It's really not slowing me down that much. You know, I'm not trying to set records pulling a big-ass trailer anyway. Well, the roads down south are like way nicer, you know, you don't get that crazy cold and stuff. Oh, people getting already up to the airport. Oh, good. This is 23. Same one that goes up to like where I did all those ice videos. It's constantly under construction. Yeah, southbound's better, so I'll be good there. This would be a nightmare during the week, around 5 o'clock. Look at cars everywhere. Right, left, front of me, merging. No, I'm going to go 23. Southbound looks okay. I didn't see any of these slowdowns. I'll be getting out of here early morning. I'm at early morning on a weekday. Wish I had another hour to fuck around. They got a big, nice Barnes & Noble here. 2-story one. This is where I went to college here, Eastern Michigan. I see some guy just signed a contract from Eastern. You know, they had pros, people that made it to the pros. But he got a $100 million contract to the Oakland Raiders. You know, and Eastern isn't exactly a good football program. So to actually come from here and end up with a $100 million contract is pretty damn cool. Yeah, I saw him in that game that the Lions beat him the other day. He's good. Big white guy, fast as hell. More fucking traffic. You fuckers. Hey, will somebody look up and see if Michigan had a football game today? Oh, there's a fucking cop up here. I bet it is a football day, which is why this fucking cop won't let people off here. Motherfuckers. Yeah. But it looks like something might have crashed on the off-ramp, too. Oh, yeah, it looks like an 18-wheeler rolled over. Or something. Oh, yeah, look at that. A guy rolled over. Blocked the whole fucking ramp. Well, that's better than a football game. Here's one of these electric powered trucks. Hear it winding up? Piece of shit. Be lucky if he has enough juice to get home. Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, good. Thank you. Now look at southbound's busy. Yeah, I don't want to go through Detroit. I will. I actually wouldn't mind going through Detroit. I mean, I'd rather not. because not that I wouldn't like to stop in and see Gerald and Maddie and stuff, but because if I broke down there, which is unlikely, or got run into by one of the 83% of uninsured motorists down there driving around blowing stop signs, it'd just be such a clusterfuck to bring another truck up here, to like be there until it got here, blah, 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 blah. It's just not worth the risk. Oh, camper trailer. Yeah, I'm pulling, I think the trailer I'm pulling is 20 feet. Yeah, probably about 20 feet. I hate pulling trailers. It's nerve-wracking. I mean, not really, but it's not like not having one on the back. As I found out last night, pulling down a slender driveway where there was construction going on. It took me fucking 35 minutes to get out of there. And I'm rusty on my backing up, and I've, you know, the sun was shining. It's just bad. Yeah, a guy helped me out. Yeah, he did. Said objects.
In 2 miles, use the left 2 lanes to take the US 23 West, Michigan 14 West exit toward Flint.
Yeah, I know that already. Yeah, it's on this one the wheels are tandem axles, almost in the middle. Look at there, guys, goes the ambulance. That thing must have just rolled over. Looked like the owner was standing outside and talking on a cell phone. Going too fast when he exited. You know, you're tired, you're fucking around, you're doing other shit, you look up, there's your exit. And if it's a real sharp exit like that one, you just can't slow down enough to make that turn. You think you can, but you can't. It looks like he was in a big Tahoe, which is heavy, and you know, that's the downside of a big heavy vehicle. Before you know it, he was on his side. Mr. Big Shot. Mr. Big Tahoe owner. Just looking out this windshield, and everything was halfway upside down. Yeah, it's a little late for the good.
In half a mile, use the left 2 lanes to take the US 23 West, Michigan 14 West exit toward Flint.
Yeah, I know that already. I got the pedal to the metal. I got a bunch of rocks for
Use
Patty.
the left 2 lanes to take the US 23 West exit.
I got a bunch of rocks for Patty. She likes these Georgia rocks for her garden.
Continue for half a mile. In half a mile, merge onto Michigan 14 West, US 23 North.
Shut up. Breaker 19. They have a lot of accidents here too. It's a nightmare right here, leaving here during the daytime. Just like traffic up the ass, man. These people trying to get on.
Continue on Michigan 14 West for 2 miles.
It's not really 14 West. Breaker 19, breaker 19, breaker 19. Look at this asshole. This is the kind of guy that causes accidents. And this one. I'll keep both these fuckers from merging if I could have saw them earlier. A lot of accidents right through this whole stretch. Oh, another fucking goddamn. Slow down. Motherfuckers, man. It's all these fucking losers trying to get off to 14. Just breaker 19, breaker 19. I think this engine, it shouldn't either because it's a diesel. And it's not running hot. I think that it creates a lot of cab heat. I asked Marty, this thing seems hot to me. You know, even with all the heat off. And he says, well, I always have the AC on. It's like, okay, so that's what I did. And sure enough, I'm not hot. Rhinestone Cowboy. This guy's got his four-ways on. Didn't want to get rear-ended. There, he just turned them off. I'll tell you, I think truck drivers are great drivers. I rarely see one fucking up.
In a quarter mile, keep right at the fork to continue on US 23 North. Keep right at the fork to continue on US 23 North. Continue for 146 miles.
Time to party. I should have turned that off when I was done at those phone calls. I forgot about it. I wasn't sure about going through Toledo. See, you know, they got left show. They've got these new, like, you know, where a bunch of people are supposed to be in the car together, and normally that's closed, but I see it's open today for, like, anybody. Yeah, there's huge profit in trucking. Hey, here's the dermatomyositis guy. Excuse me. Yeah, let's kick it. Know what I'm saying? Let's kick it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, anybody hear me on here?